Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is going to have a blessed and bountiful day with family and friends. Unfortunately, if you don't have family and friends to be with, I am here with you right now. Before we get into today's very tragic upload, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, and the membership are in the description below. Merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And folks, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into today's upload, shall we? Alright, folks, so 3 weeks ago, I had the privilege of speaking to a subscriber who shared with me the most horrific experience I have ever heard in my entire life. On the Dogman side and on the government side. So, kind of do a refresh and give you the new information that was just shared to Jesse via a gentleman who reached out to me. Anyway, 1988, his wife, his son's 9 at the time, just a young kid, are camping on the West Virginia-Pennsylvania line, and really had a good couple of days, according to Jesse and how he had felt. His wife was leery. She kept seeing this Dogman off in the distance periodically, and it really did kind of upset her. Jesse really didn't think much of it growing up in the Appalachia region, hearing generational talk of these woodland creatures, woodland monsters, referred to as booger, catamount. We know them as Dogman, Bigfoot. So they had spotted it a couple times. Their last night or last day, they decided to go set up in this creek and go fishing. And they're kind of at like a triangle, if you think about it, because they all can see each other, but the creek separates them. And Jesse's son is fishing away. Jesse's kind of fishing, just, really enjoying the last bit of his vacation. He really didn't have a lot. He worked extremely hard for everything that he had up until that point. But this was his time. This was his vacation to enjoy. And then he had to go right back to work. So he's trying to make the best of it. Well, he sees his wife kind of looking at their son, and who, for respect reasons, he will remain anonymous. She starts to freak out. He's watching. He's like, what is going on? He sees that the young boy doesn't have his pole in his hand, and he's looking in the vicinity that the wife is looking. The wife's staring at her son, but he's looking the same way. And what they see is this huge canine come running out of the woods. As it gets closer to Jesse's son, it stands up like on two legs instantaneously almost, scoops the boy up like a football player would a football, kind of pins it against its chest, pins the young boy against the Dogman's chest, drops to all four, but technically three legs, because the Dogman has the young boy in his front arm / hand paw, just pushed against his chest, and it takes off on three legs, running away from the scene, going into the Pennsylvania, West Virginia wilderness. Now, everyone's freaking out. Husband, wife, Jesse, his wife, they're just get 911. Anyway, long story short, the West Virginia, Ohio State Police are present, searching, looking. They end up bringing the wife to a hospital in the area, and they do a 72-hour psych hold. What they do is the government separated these two, 72-hour psych hold, and they brought Jesse to the police station. They treated him like a pure criminal. What did you do with your son? Where is your son? This, and that. Just a lot of questions, a lot of bullying, for lack of a better word. Just a lot of bullying. So the bullying proceeds for hours. West Virginia, Pennsylvania State Police, they're in a West Virginia police barracks. But mind you, Pennsylvania is involved because the border and the Dogman kind of ran off the Pennsylvania side, kind of in the Pennsylvania area. Hours go by, and he had found out they had, found his son. The state troopers really just were not even compassionate. They, for some reason, during the whole, before they found the young boy, they had accused Jesse of killing his son. These two nondescript government men come in, and they start kind of working him over a little bit. We found your son. A lot of soft tissue damage, eaten. He had been urinated on, the boy. And how these government kind of fixers, cover-uppers, they really did a lot of a mental abuse to this man, Jesse. And they said, listen, you got a couple choices. Here's your choices. Your wife is going to sit in that 72-hour hold. Either way you look at it. And when she comes out, you'll both be going to prison for murdering your son. Or you can go along with the experience we are going to share with you, right? Your son was mauled and killed by a bear, and that's going to be the public opinion. Well, Jesse is just beside himself. He wants his wife. He wants to make sure his wife's okay. His heart is broken. His little boy was just, and how the men really, I can't imagine the amount of anger and sadness Jesse must have felt at that point. To find out, your son is deceased, and his little body was just torn apart. It had been urinated on by this Dogman, which we'll talk about after in a second here. Long story short, he agrees to it. The story never gets released, ever. Years go by, and crazy enough, 9 years go by. In 1997, and his wife takes her life because she couldn't handle it. They had never had any other children except a little boy. And, it was just and poor Jesse. So he had been lurking in the YouTube community, the kind of Facebook community, the Reddit community, reading as many books and publications as he can about Dogman, this and that. Reaches out to me and just, we instantly kind of hit it off. He started the conversation with, I couldn't stand you when I first heard your channel. You're far too upbeat. This and that. And, with the shall we, because in the very beginning, for the first few years, I yell it, and he ends up finding out that his son had been cremated without his okay or his wife's okay. Now, he shares this with me 3 weeks ago, and he kind of just, I needed to get that off of my back. I got it off my back. I can live, somewhat feeling a little better now that people know, and there is some sort of memory of my son now. And a few days ago, I got an email and requesting Jesse's information. The guy was pushy. He, pretty much tried to push me into giving him Jesse's contact info. And of course I didn't. I said, listen, this is how it's going to be. You want to talk to Jesse? I'm going to give Jesse your info. Jesse wants to get in touch with you. That's on him. That's not on me. You're not getting his last name. You're not getting this, you're not getting that. Because I didn't know who this guy was. So I let Jesse know. Jesse said, yeah, let's get in touch with him. But can we do a 3-way call through your phone so he doesn't have my phone number, where I live anymore, and whatnot? And I said, yeah, I honestly was going to suggest that because I don't know who this guy is. The way you presented those two government fixers, this guy kind of reminded me of them. How he portrayed them being really pushy, real adamant. So I shot the guy an email and I said, yeah, Jesse will talk with you, but this is how it's going to be if you want to talk to him. And I suggest that you provide, ample evidence and proof of who you are and how you know, other than hearing this account on my channel. And so we do a 3-way call, and we are introduced to a man named Corbin. Works as a search and rescue personnel, has done many search and rescues throughout the great state of West Virginia. And he was one of the men on the scene. Now, when they discovered the body of Jesse's son, Corbin shared with us a lot of details. He provided us with the ample proof of who he was. And crazy enough, Jesse remembers seeing him throughout that time period before he was dragged in handcuffs to the police station. And, so he's like, yeah, I do recall you. Yeah. And if this guy was just some fluke, Jesse wouldn't recall him, And so they discover Jesse's son body. And there's kind of puncture wounds in his sternum, which was believed to be caused by the creature's claw as it ran with Jesse's young son in his arm. And there had been this really foul, musky scent of urine as they were figuring out what they were going to do, how they were going to, get this little boy to the coroner's office and proceed with, everything. What they saw was a large bipedal creature, probably 60, 70 feet off in the distance, watching Pennsylvania state troopers, West Virginia state troopers, and an investigator, looking at Jesse's son. And one of the police officers, one of the state troopers, sees it. They all end up watching this kind of creature. There's kind of a standoff. And it drops to all fours and runs back toward West Virginia. Where the body was found, it was found in Pennsylvania. The West Virginia state trooper, one of them, had contacted the jail or wherever Jesse was being held at that point. I mean, he's in a friggin' locked room. Getting in touch with one of the guys, and after extensive bullying, both of the guys leave Jesse. We're putting the timeline together as we were talking, Jesse and I and Corbin. Before they had reached the agreement, these two guys got up and left and had been gone for an hour and a half, maybe, a little longer. They went to the scene of the incident and proceeded to be told about what the state troopers, both sides, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, search and rescue, paramedics is now on the scene, because that's how they are going to transfer the son's body to the coroner's office. As they're kind of figuring everything out, one of the guys that Corbin worked with for, a few years said, what in the hell is that? Now, they just 45 minutes prior saw this huge monstrosity standing 60, 70 feet away. They see this small, probably the size of a teenaged boy or girl, come running out the West Virginia towards Pennsylvania side and kind of pushing the adult Dogman. So they witness this. Corbin, West Virginia, Pennsylvania are watching this, huge Dogman kind of staring at everybody doing their job, and this smaller Dogman, not the way Corbin explained it, he said it was not a pup or whatever. He said this thing was probably the size of a young teenaged person. Immediately, the two agents or whatever they are, there had been a moment of badge flashing between West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and these two guys. And these guys come back from their large blacked out SUV, flak jackets, kind of long rifles. They're just, they've got a little arsenal. One of the guys is carrying a bolt action. Another guy is carrying fully automatic rifle. And everyone is told to vacate the premises immediately. There was no, Corbin was like, what? You know, like, what do you mean? We've got to get this child's body out of here. You know, what the hell are you talking about? A few of the workers kind of were just like, but in the end, the state police said, you know, let's go this way. Because they can obviously see something's going to go down. The two men are talking. The one with the long rifle stays directly on that Dogman, the huge one. Kind of standing 60, 70 feet away. He looks at the partner, and the partner kind of veers off and goes into the woods a little bit. And they're watching. You can see them. The guy with the bolt action takes a shot, and they witness this huge creature just drop. Corbin's not sure the caliber of the rifle. He just knows that it was a decent sized rifle or cartridge. Both of them now come back because they didn't know if apparently what was going to happen. So they get in their SUV and kind of drive maybe halfway. All of a sudden you see this smaller Dogman kind of drop to all fours and kind of like defend the body of the larger Dogman, bouncing, whatnot. The obvious boss of the two men gets to the back of the, opens up the back of the blacked out SUV and pulls out what appeared to be some sort of tranquilizer gun, hands it to the other government guy, and both of them kind of stand at the side of their SUV, both with tranquilizer guns, and shoot this smaller Dogman. They go over and somehow whether they used, Corbin doesn't know how, but they know that the pup Dogman, the young Dogman, did not move after it was trained. They were the guys, everyone was told to, get the body, get out of here, take the little boy and get out of here. Corbin's and his team are packing up, getting ready to go. They're just like, what the hell did we just see? The West Virginia State Trooper walks over and says, you got to go to the State Trooper barracks. We'll meet you there. We've got some paperwork you got to fill out because of all this. Okay, well, we'll meet you there. As the body is gone now of the little boy, as West Virginia, Pennsylvania troopers are pulling out, Corbin and his team. There's like 4 guys in Corbin's thing. Pull out. As they're pulling out, this black cargo van comes whipping in and just right past them, just whips in and starts going toward where the guys in the SUV are. The driver of everyone's gone, but the driver of Corbin's vehicle stops because he's like, what the hell is going on? What did we just see? What's going on? We thought this guy had killed his son. Now we see this. Who are these people? What's this van? What is going on? What they witness is the large Dogman is tarped up, wrapped up, thrown in the van. The smaller Dogman is then still unconscious, looked like it's shackled, and thrown into the van. They can't see fully what's going on. They can just witness what they're witnessing, something happening a good distance away. And they're trying to make out as many details as possible. Then the door's shut. They see the van kind of turn. They're like, we got to get the hell out of here and go to the barracks. They drive to the state trooper barracks where Jesse is being held and where all of, the documentation and everything is being handled. The van does not make its appearance after that. The black SUV does at the barracks. Everyone is brought into a separate room and pretty much told not to speak about anything that they had witnessed, that it is a matter of national information. Penalty is prison, and your life is your life. If you say anything to anybody, your life is officially over. Everything that you've worked for, everybody you know is going to be out of your life. You will be, labeled an undesirable with, nothing. Sign these papers. They were the 2 men that were handling this, Corbin said, were very professional, but very dangerous at the same time. He could just tell. So as Jesse, myself, and Corbin are speaking, I can hear Jesse start to cry. And he has just questioned upon question. Like, where'd the van go? Why are you sharing this now? And then Corbin proceeds to say, the van didn't go anywhere, or the van didn't make its appearance. It took off and it was gone. We were gone. It was gone. The only thing that we saw were the 2 men back at the state troopers barracks. We were pretty much told to shut our traps. If by chance anything ever got out, that, So Corbin, I, and Jesse say good night. Jesse and Corbin, Jesse really acknowledges what he just shared, this, and that. As we are kind of saying our goodbyes, Corbin makes a statement and says, I'm only sharing this now with you all because I don't have anything more to live for. I just got diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and I am dying. That's why I wanted to share what I witnessed that day with you, Jesse, because I feel like as a dad, you should know. And it got really touching there, really heart. Jesse started crying more, like literally crying, thanking Corbin. Corbin said, I've held on to this for years and knew it was wrong. What happened that day, what they did to you, what they did to your wife. So Corbin's dying, and Jesse and me, after the three-way ends, Jesse and me start talking. And Jesse made the statement, do you think those two guys work for the breeding program? Do you think that Dogman that killed my son was tagged? Was that young Dogman its offspring? What did we just, hear? And for Corbin to, hold on to that for so long, get diagnosed with cancer, and he had been actually looking for Jesse, listening to different podcasts, different YouTube channels, looking for him. Corbin had listened to, Vic Cundiff's channel, Dark Waters channel, my channel, a few other channels, waiting, hoping to hear, going through all the older, videos. And a week ago, he heard Jesse. A few days, after I had put it out. And that's why he was like that to me. Because he doesn't have much time left. And he wanted to apologize to Jesse for how he was treated. How he lost his son, how his wife took her life. But that's the question. My question right now is, and I'm gonna send Victor a text saying Happy Thanksgiving. But was this you? Were you involved in this? Were you the man with the bolt action? Were they tagged? So that was the very interesting and disturbing phone conversation that myself, Jesse, and a gentleman named Corbin had from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. a.m. And then I stayed up till 3:30 putting this together because it's important. Because now I want to know. I want to know if that was Victor. And I want to know if it was, how could he have treated an American citizen, a father, like that? Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Your support is what makes this channel so special, what continues to make it grow and go. Please, everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, our pets, our family, and friends. These are real creatures, and they are out there, and they are dangerous. Share a little bit of information with the people you love and care about. That same info we share with each other here on a daily basis. It may just save one of their lives someday. God bless you all, and happy Turkey Day.